Good morning. Good morning. It's AEP. Hello. Welcome.
There's a lot of energy for AEP.
Well, we started out like this. Then I was
true.
like, wait a second, high energy. We've got about 3 minutes until the actual real show starts. We're in the Medicare Cafe pre-chat where chaos ensues. What we're doing now is going to be, do you have it on here? Is it the title?
Yeah.
What's Brewing? That's what Medicare Cafe is going to be throughout AEP. It's going to be very short episodes tied to talking about like just industry. What's the industry seeing during AEP? What have we heard last week? What do we expect to see going into this week? Do you know how many of my friends in the industry have birthdays today? I texted 3 people today who are in the Medicare industry saying, hey, happy birthday. Also, sucks for you that your birthday is on October 15th.
I feel like that's up there for not good days for birthdays.
It's honestly along the lines, there's a spider on the ceiling right up. It's also along the lines, do you see it?
He's moving.
No, it's a live one.
You called him out.
I did.
He's
coming
We'll
this way.
tune back into our on the floor reporter here in a little bit.
Well, it's actually on the ceiling, so, but anyway. But yeah, so many of my friends have birthdays today. It'd be like having a birthday on like December 25th.
Yeah, that was I'm a December 1st birthday, which
I'm
like
November 30th, which is a whole day better.
Yeah, okay. The best part about, well, I have a whole bunch of things. First one, I learned that December 1st is a terrible birthday to have for when I become Medicare eligible because it's the first of the month, which adds a whole other layer.
Well, no, then you get Medicare a whole month more.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
But it's during AEP. So then I'm going to be a bothersome person to my agent.
No one's going to want to help you.
Exactly.
I'm also a November 1st. We'll have the same. Mine will be a few years before yours.
Maybe just a couple.
Okay, anyway.
But also, her birthday and Clayton's in the office just shadow over my birthday. So they're like, oh, happy belated birthday, Olivia Clayton. And I'm just over here like, I was born today.
I was born. Yeah, we get the belated birthdays and on your birthday.
And I'm just like, yeah, guys, it was their birthday.
I'm glad you enjoyed your birthday yesterday. It says, I would help. Oh, Mary. She says, I would help Ben, even if it was during the time of insanity.
I'm honored.
It's not easy being an AEP birthday. Okay, here's the problem. My birthday is also in November, the 30th. I don't know if you heard, I like wine and chocolate. So I can't really take, and my wedding anniversary is also December 10th. So they all kind of go in bunch at the end of the year, which makes things hard. But during AEP, I am recovering from AEP for my anniversary. I can't really take off too much for my birthday or do much during my birthday. And my birthday this year falls on the same weekend as Thanksgiving. It does every year. So I really can't do anything that weekend either because I have to be with family. And then I also deer hunt, and Missouri rifle hunting starts November 16th this year. So it's just about time for AEP.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked this birthday, I don't think, but
you will yell at your mom and dad.
I do plan on that.
Maybe we don't get into details as why my favorite Super Bowl commercial was what were your parents doing? If your birthday is in November, your parents were celebrating Super Bowl or something like that. If you're turning, it was if you're turning 30 this year, your parents must have been either the blank fan or a blank fan.
That's funny.
And they celebrated.
That's funny.
That's actually hilarious.
That is good. I like that.
That's not why you guys came here today. Or is it?
But maybe. Who knows?
I felt like I was going to tell you something. No, we'll talk about it on the. Was it the birthdays?
Maybe. I don't live in there.
It's scary.
Yeah, I moved out.
I moved out actually. Guys, welcome to the Medicare Cafe. What's Brewing? You were joined by your hosts. My name's Olivia Richardson.
And I am Benjamin Lavas.
And I am excited. Again, what we're doing throughout all of AEP, we're going to do some fun stuff, maybe some contests. In years past, there's been pies and faces. Who knows what we're going to do this year? Because I'm not in charge.
I know some.
Yeah, Ben knows what's going on. I don't. But what we're doing during AEP is just giving you guys little just coffee breaks, and that's why it's called What's Brewing. Just updates of what's going on, what happened this past week, what do we expect to see in the future, what's going on this week, just things to keep you nice and ready to go, to just kind of take a little
mental break. It's like going to the watering hole during your normal office hours or whatnot, or or like as a previous college student, we had office hours for like our professors and stuff like that. So like it was just that kind of mentality of, hey, jump in, take 20 minutes to take care of yourself, catch your breath, fill your water bottle, use the restroom, and have it facade with industry updates. But a lot of this is going to be for making sure you guys take care of you, because you cannot take care of the beneficiaries that need you this AEP if you are not taken care of.
Put on your mask first. And then choose your favorite child and put on their mask. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, threats, or promises, you can text me right there. That is always my text line, or yes, right here between Ben and I. Or, of course, you can always message us on live chat, and we will make sure to answer them. Yeah, so we've been getting a ton of questions about things that just have been in such flex, and nobody's really understand. I call like a lot of it's just like Medicare math, like when 1 + 1 equals fish. Seeing a lot more of that. And so in the past few weeks, and Ben, I'm going to let you talk about this because I think you are more educated on it than I am. And that is going to be a lot of people. We'll start number one. Thing number one. We got like 2 or 3 things we're going to talk about, give you some updates, and then we're going to get out of here. Number one, why is it that a beneficiary is not paying $2,000 out of pocket to hit the $2,000 maximum out-of-pocket amount when it comes to their prescription drugs and their prescription drug plan? A lot of people are doing calculations, and they're saying my client's only paying $1,700, they're only paying $1,500. Why are they not paying $2,000 in that year? And I don't know. Ask Ben.
No, it's exactly that. It's Medicare math. It's very similar to like how some of the coverage gap and the donut hole used to all work, that it wasn't always filtered into how did we get to certain stages of the donut hole. But with that going away, erase all of that out of your mind, replace that weird math with this weird math. So for this example, let's take, you have a $1,000 retail drug. The plan premium does not get incorporated into your $2,000 true out-of-pocket maximum. So cash premium away, we have a $1,000 retail drug. So at the plan that I'm on is super cool, and I only have to pay $47. So I pay $47 a month for this $1,000 retail drug. However, CMS has what's known as a standard benefit. It's part of the deductible, which I think is $590. And then the standard benefit for prescription drugs is 25% of retail. So now with that 25% or the $47 that I'm paying as a copay, which of those do I apply to the true out-of-pocket? It'll be whichever is higher. So on a $1,000 retail drug, you have $250 for the CMS standard benefit. $250 will be applied to the true out-of-pocket maximum, while your client is only paying $47. That only applies for drugs that are found on the formulary for those plans. So if it's not on the formulary, you may see a way higher out-of-pocket cost. The other one to keep in mind will be insulins. Insulins are at a $35. And it is not a 25% of the retail of the insulin. That is a true $35, part of, big, and thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act for that as well. So yeah, the big difference is which is a higher amount. Is the co-insurance or copay that the member is paying on their prescription drug, or is it the CMS standard benefit of 25% calculated based off of the retail of the drug? That is a lot. That is very confusing. There is a video, if you ever need a refresher, in the Medicare Cafe Facebook group that I did on that has some tidbits in there. So if you need a refresher or just want to run through that again, that kind of scenario I have pinned or will have pinned now that I say that into the space.
No, we won't. But the good news is that if you're using a third-party platform like the carrier quoting sites, or more importantly, Medicare Center or Connecture or Sunfire platform, it auto-calculates that into it. So those drug amounts should be correct. You don't have to know how the sausage is made in order to continue to properly shop prescription drug plans and Medicare Advantage plans for your client. So it is helpful to kind of know, like, hey, why is the math not mathing here? But at the end of the day, the technology is going to do the work for you.
Let it do it. Let it do the heavy lifting. Like that's why you guys partner with us and other organizations to have some of those tools and assets to make this a lot easier for you. And so trust it with a catch. Like make sure you things are making sense and like networks and stuff are showing correctly. But it's taking that into account. It's actually smarter than all of us. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or at least more
Our
consistent.
AI overlords, I will bow down mercifully when
It's
it comes
actually
to
just
time.
the spider. The spiders.
I just as long as I have eyes on the spider, I'm fine.
If I look up and it's gone, you'll
We're
be
leaving.
doing. Oh, we're both leaving.
We're leaving.
The plant is taking over the cafe.
It has about as much personality as you and I do, so that's fine. Anyways, some more updates before we close out today's cafe episode is I'm getting a lot of questions. I got 2 more things for you. We had 3 total. That was 1. Number 2, getting a lot of questions about Medicare Center. Medicare Center has had some incredible updates in the last 2 weeks, and getting a lot of people, and then even like within the last a few hours, had some pretty incredible updates. So I just want to give you some of the most notable updates that people are seeing going into AEP that people are most excited about. Number 1, multiple pharmacies. People are really excited about having multiple pharmacies. Now, something to keep in mind, if you are pulling up medications or you're trying to look at plans for somebody and it's saying there's no plans available in that area, or all plans are at $0 even when you know they're not, make sure you have at least one of the pharmacies selected on the left-hand side of the quote. That tends to be the number 1 mistake when people are seeing zeros across the board. But that it's happening because we now have capability for multiple pharmacies, which is really, really exciting. The other thing that we're seeing, especially if you're somebody who is using the Plan Enroll sites and the Plan Enroll branding, I'm getting so many people having such positive responses to people. I actually had one yesterday that reached out to me just to say, I sent out a Plan Enroll campaign. Over half of them within just a couple hours responded back, sent in their scope of appointments, updated the medications, and talked about how easy it was for themselves. So it's working really, really well.
Working.
And on that Plan Enroll line of thinking, if you haven't paid attention, the new templates on the marketing portions have been released. So you can do birthday emails, birthday texts. You can do a ton of really cool stuff. Thank you for being my client. Here's some little information about me. So just if you're not familiar with that, go to what's it called? You click on the marketing link.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Client Sync. And you can be able to look at the different templates there. Some really cool stuff. So that was a significant update that we had this week.
I thought it was really cool that they had even gone through and taken a look at more specialized, like, hey, you may have noticed a decrease in benefits in your ANOC as well. So they have some really good pieces that are created, CMS approved, ready to be blasted out to your clients. So if you are waking up and today is the first time you've been awake in the last 9 months or so, and you're like, what do I need to do right now? Medicare Center, is a safety net for you. Use that marketing platform, get your clients reached out to, and you might still be able to capture and save some business this year.
Yeah. It's, again, truly an incredible tool. Mary did ask a really great question that I want to address. She says, is there any consistency between the insurance companies when it comes to approving an appeal? If you're talking about, depends on what appeal that you're talking about, but regardless, the answer is no. There's not really a ton of consistency. If you're talking about prescription appeals, like a prescription's not on the formulary, you're trying to get that done. Yes, I have someone on 3 brand drugs that are not on the formulary that have been approved by WellCare versus no one covers these 3 meds. So yes, there isn't necessarily an approval process, or a consistent process when it comes to the carrier stuff. What we like to, essentially when it comes to, there is an appeal requested. It typically will have to come from the provider themselves, stating why they need to take that prescription, not an alternative, not things like that. Usually that is about the only consistent thing across those platforms you see.
I'm trying to run through my brain, and I'll have to maybe capture or catch up to it in a little bit. But I think there was something that I remembered seeing that if you were getting on a plan for a 1/1 effective date, like if you had switched PDP plans to this AEP, you can submit the appeal to go into effect 1/1. That way you would know a little bit sooner about if the new plan they were switching to would take that appeal. I don't know if that'll apply here, Mary, but I can take another look at kind of some of that details, because I imagine what you're trying to figure out is if WellCare, the one that they're currently on, made these appeals and took care of the client, could others, do I have other options for this client? So feel free to shoot me an email or shoot the team an email, and we can kind of take a closer look at maybe some of those. But again, like Olivia said, every carrier speaks their own language, so it'll be up to them.
So yes, Mary, you would need to apply first and then submit the appeal, and it's best to make sure you do that one early so that you have plenty of time to hear back. Because again, they can't really do an appeal to a person that's not in their plan or not at least applied for their. Still have eyes on the spider. Good deal. A couple more updates I wanted to give you guys about LIS calculations. If you go ahead and put somebody that they are receiving LIS benefits, it does calculate the premiums and the drug costs as well. So it started doing that a couple weeks ago. And then last but not least, again, just continuing the consumer experience on Plan Enroll. So getting some really, really, really great feedback from there. So those are the major 2 updates. Again, why is the Part D math not mathing? And 2, what's going on with Medicare Center? I have been hearing, this is October 15th when we're filming this, I do know that there are some bugs right now. It looks like Aetna, Medicare Advantage, and Part D permissions may not be correct. So if you are ready to sell with Aetna and it's not showing up, that seems to be a widespread issue right now. And I'm getting whisperings that enrollment into Anthem plans may be a challenge for Connecture, Sunfire, and Medicare Center. So I'll keep you guys appraised on what's going on with there. If you're seeing that those issues are affecting you, just know that they are much more widespread than what we initially thought. But those are the only 2 basically widespread issues that I'm continuing to see right now. Let me know if you're having more issues. The third thing I wanted to mention, and it's just a point, I understand I got a text this morning from somebody who was actually a beneficiary. They turned 65 just recently and said, Olivia, I'd like for you to help me with my insurance. Well, I am a licensed agent, but I don't have any business trying to do my job and also help today's beneficiary. That's not what I'm going to excel at. So I was like, sure, absolutely. I have a friend in that area. I know exactly who that needs to go to. Let me go ahead and send you their contact information. They can't call you because you've already said you want a Medicare Advantage plan, right, but you can call them. They're ready for your call. And the first thing they responded is, thank you for your help. Do they have, and I will show you the text message, Ben, do they have an online presence like YouTube or TikTok? Does he have an online presence, YouTube or TikTok? And this is somebody who just turned 65 asking me that. And I had to be like, unfortunately, they don't. They have a website.
Right.
Here's their website. But for everybody saying that, like, people don't care about that. It used to be Facebook.
Yeah.
For everybody saying, and we've been preaching about it for years, you need to have an online presence for people to research you and people feel more comfortable to know who you are before they work with you. People saying, oh, they don't do this. This man is the complete person that says doesn't do this. He's a DSNP eligible individual. And he is turning 65.
Wow.
And so I'm just saying it is worth it. I know we're busy. I know things are crazy. But we're into the thick of it. It is so important to continue to invest in those online resources. It's never too late, but you got to get started 100%.
I think there's an ode to that as well as being maintain consistency throughout quarter 4.
So
we talk
true.
about, all of the different things that we do quarters 1 through 3. Quarter 4 can't look different or else the efforts you had spent during quarters 1 through 3 will be lost. So if you were posting a couple times a week, make sure you try to maintain that. Maybe have someone else in your office just head that up instead.
Yes.
You were just stretching? Okay.
That didn't.
No,
we didn't pop lock or
crack.
drop it. Those are the major things. I was trying to think of a quote by that I was listening. I had to do some research on some really inspirational quotes to get the people going today.
Yes. Yeah.
And one of them was somebody who I highly respect, one of the most intelligent people I know. They said that greatness doesn't come from a moment. Greatness doesn't come from a moment. Success comes from consistency, and success will bring greatness. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
So that's something to keep in mind. Consistency is ideal. Success isn't overnight. And something else I'd mentioned, just going into AEP and then we'll wrap up, is that just because the opportunity is there and just because we deserve it doesn't mean success will happen. Even if we deserve it, even if we did everything right prepping for this, the workload comes from what can we do over the next 8 weeks. And that's what will make that consistency. That is what's going to bring that success. I just logged on. Hi, Brian. So happy to have you here, Brian. We missed you so much over the last couple weeks. Ben, any last final words of wisdom? Sounds so scary. Any final thoughts? Words?
Guys, I'm blinking. Guys, please, I'm blinking.
Blink twice if you're in Milwaukee.
Oh, wait. How many times? I don't know. Honestly, my like parting words, because I guess I may never be around cafe ever again, is what I'm being told. No, just honestly, like, I know it's very easy to get caught up in speeding up and rushing through quarter 4, but use this cafe time, use a set time that you have. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this, you cannot help anyone if you yourself are not helped. And so take that 5 minutes and put yourself in a position to be able to help the next person. Just making sure that T's are crossed, I's are dotted. This is a busy time of the year. Lean on your resources and
Lean on me
when you're not strong.
I'll be your friend. That's a big note to hit.
I'm warmed up for that.
Alrighty.
Drop 3 octaves real quick. But no, honestly, that's where I'm at. I have a lot of agencies that are like, well, it's gonna be so crazy, and then I have to remind them that, like, hey, you have me.
You have a team. You have an entire team behind you to help you guys get through it. Your job is to help the beneficiary. Our job is to help you. We have so much worth, so much value in this industry. We need to make sure that the world knows it. And the only way that happens is by you guys getting out there for the next 8 weeks, kicking ass and taking. By names, I mean signatures on applications. So
now this is where we press a button and confetti explodes and everyone's like, yeah, and we run out of the tunnel and we're all slapping the top of the door frame.
Oh, I was going like way old. For Sparta.
Oh.
Sparta! Anyways.
Yeah, cool.
Let us know. Text me at any time you guys have any questions. Good luck this AVP. May the odds be ever in your favor. Until next time, y'all, have fun.
Make money and give impeccable service.